Hello, good people. Freshmen, happy Friday. If you're watching this video, it's because I'm not going to be with you today. My wife Rebecca and I are in Damascus, living in Damascus, and we are in a level 2 situation with regard to the fires. We are fine now. Our dogs are fine. Our chickens are fine. That's right. We have about 16, 18 chickens. I can't keep track of how many we have. And we're all fine right now, but we are preparing to evacuate. And there is a possibility that things are going to change this evening or overnight, and we'll need to go. So, what we were going to do today in our Zoom session would be to just do a little more getting to know you. I was going to lead us through prayer and a little land acknowledgement. I was going to tell you a bit about myself and my own identity, some of the things on my map, and then we were going to break up into some small groups, some breakout rooms, so you could share some of your identity map items with other people. You're going to do a couple rounds of that. We're not going to do that today, but we will return to that next week. And in the meantime, there are three brief surveys that I'd like you to take. One is going to ask you to consider or tell me a little bit about your personality type. For instance, one of the things that you'll see on my map is that I am an introvert. Now, many people look at me and they think I'm an extrovert. Um, so the reality is that I am an introvert who is able to extrovert, but I also need a lot of downtime. I need some quiet time. I need some alone time, some solitude to just kind of recharge. The reality is that as an introvert, I have a relatively small number of really close relationships, and I'm energized by being with those people that I'm really close to. I'm energized by being alone and doing some quiet reflection. Being in like a big party where I don't know a lot of people, that drains me. So I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. So I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit about um, your personality. Additionally, I'm going to ask you in that same survey to tell me a little bit about your learning styles, your preferred learning styles. I'm someone who learns well by reading, but I tend to underline and write notes. I tend to need or do best with visual, um, like a video that will show me step by step how to mm, replace the battery in a car. If someone just tells me verbally, I have a hard time following that. So, what is your learning style? Some people are really visual, some people are hands on. They like to build things, they like to get their hands on in order to understand. That helps them to learn. So, you're going to tell me a little bit about your personality and your learning styles. The second survey is going to ask you to tell me what are the ways that you like to communicate the things that are most important to you. How do you like to communicate your learning? Some people like to write. I'm a writer. And so I really enjoy writing my thoughts down, my deep thoughts, my precious emotions. And that's one of the ways that I communicate what's important to me. Other people like to do paintings. I have students who have done projects by choreographing a dance. I taught world religions at Portland Community College, and one of my students, his final project was to compose a song. And that was the way he was telling me what his most important insights of the semester were. So, how do you like to communicate your learning? And the reason I'm asking you to tell me this is not only so I can get to know you, but it will also help me to see if there are things that we can do during the semester that will give you the chance to communicate your learning in ways that are really meaningful to you. The third survey is telling me some things about the kind of classroom community that you'd like to create, the kind of community that will help you to thrive as a student and as a human being. What are some of the values? What are some of the beliefs that you have? What are some of the experiences you have that tell you what kind of a classroom community you want to have, because I see us as building a community together, not just having a traditional classroom. We'll talk more about that later, but if you'll take those three surveys, these will help me to get to know you better and help me to shape, help shape with you what our semester is going to look like. All right, take good care of yourselves. I look forward to being with you next week. Take care of your families, and we'll get through this together, huh? All right, take care of yourselves. Ciao.